Hello, lovely people, and welcome to the UFC 287 recap show. It was revenge in the sweetest way for Izzy Adesanya as the last style bender turned back another challenge in his biggest adversary, Alex Pereira. Masvidal potentially calls time on his career, and we have some great fights and great performances from Rob Font, Kevin Holland, and Christian Rodriguez. I'm here with Luke Tanner. Sit back, relax. This is the recap show. Luke, bro, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm feeling pumped. I'm pumped after this card. Hey, this card was a great card. Everything what we built up to be.
Do you know it's weird because obviously we spoke earlier on in the day, and I was like, "Yeah, bro, I think this fight's got. I think the Rosas Jr. fight's gonna finish early. Holland's gonna finish early. Rob Font and Yanez that's gonna finish early. Masvidal, Burns gonna take him out in 2 rounds, and Pereira's gonna lose. Sorry, Pereira's gonna win in the first 2 rounds. Thought it was gonna be a short night. First fight, really good fight, but kind of went not kind of went to 3 rounds. Second fight went 3 rounds, got a stoppage in the third. Then it really started to look like it was about to go on fire. First round finish from Font, which we'll touch on. Masvidal Burns went all 3 rounds, which surprised me. But it does show how difficult he is to finish. I mean, Colby couldn't finish him. Burns couldn't finish him. Only Usman has in recent years. Maybe only Usman's finished him in the UFC, from what I can remember, actually. I'd have a double check on that. And then where we start, Israel Adesanya, surely he cemented his legacy as one of the GOATs of the middleweight division. I mean, it's him and Anderson Silva at the table, right?
Oh yeah. They're going to be chatting about their stories for years to come because it's crazy that Israel Adesanya made his UFC debut in 2018. He's had 16 fights since then. A fight every 4 months.
5 years.
5 years, and already he's ascended to sitting on the summit. He's not quite there yet. I think people are always going to put Anderson Silva on that pedestal because of the nostalgia, but he's chasing him. Like, you could arguably say that when it's all said and done, he could be the greatest middleweight of all time, potentially. I know that's going to upset a lot of people.
It will, but bro, I mean, going into the fight, me and you were pretty vocal. Like, I've made no bones about it, and I've not tried to hide it. I'm an Izzy fan. I'm a massive Israel Adesanya fan. The first fight, I thought Izzy would do it. He didn't. This fight, I went into it thinking I don't see how Izzy does it. And bro, not only did he do it, he did it emphatically. Like, he went into the fight, and I believe one of his quotes was, "This will be one and done, and I will have the last laugh, and I'll laugh the loudest." Right now, he's somewhere, bro, about to go to the UFC press conference probably, but he is laughing his ass off, saying, "Look at me now. No one believed me, and look what I've just done. I've stopped the boogeyman and put him to sleep."
I can just imagine, like, when Usman beat Burns, like, put some respect on my fucking name.
Yeah.
That now, but with Izzy, he took the dog collar off and he was unleashed.
Literally.
Dog, yeah, the dog came out. Yeah, that was his last shot at gold.
The pressure.
The pressure he probably put in himself to say that I've got to finish this because there's no way I'm going to get another title shot for a while if he doesn't get it done. And the fact he got it done in that way, you always think if that first round was 10 seconds longer in the first fight, we wouldn't even be running this back. We wouldn't even be running this back because he would have been out cold. And yeah, what a performance. I definitely thought that he was going to get finished. And there was times in this fight where he did get caught with the left. And I thought, oh, this could be the end. And even before he got the KO, Pereira just backed him up against the fence, started teeing off. And Izzy just found the right hand and wobbled him. And gave him the 1-2 on the way down.
Well, he said he was playing a bit of possum. Do you think he was playing possum? Because I don't. I think his leg was jacked, and I think he was covering up and looking for looking for a shot to land, and obviously he did. I don't think he was playing possum though. And look, that could have played out very differently, and Pereira could have landed something and put him night.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think. Are we talking in terms of the stoppage of the first fight? Because I thought that was the correct stoppage. I think someone online showed the footage of Pereira having the left uppercut ready to go. I could imagine he would have sent him into the shadow realm if he would have caught that left hook straight up the middle. So I think it was the correct stoppage. And you even saw in this fight, I think Pablo in the comments said, look at his left leg. And his left leg was compromised with the leg kicks. And that was something that he didn't check all evening, which was a bit of a surprise, to be honest. But he got away with it in the end because he got the W. He got the victory.
He did indeed. We spoke about Izzy. What next for Alex, though? Some people are calling for a trilogy fight. I personally don't think a trilogy should be done right now. I think Alex needs to go away, kind of build himself up. But he's at the top of the division, and he's got the least amount of experience in the division. But he's just a phenomenal kickboxer with phenomenal power. Do you kind of start him again from scratch, or is he now in a deep end and he's kind of got to swim with the sharks now?
I think he's at the deep end and he needs to swim with the sharks, I think. But I do believe that there are favourable matchups for him in this top 5. The two that instantly spring to mind is, no disrespect to the two fighters, but Jared Cannonier, Marvin Vettori. Those are the two that spring to mind at the moment. And then if that's the case, and where does that leave a certain Robert Whittaker? Because he was probably thinking, please, Pereira, please win, because I don't want to see Whittaker Adesanya 3. And Rob sort of cleaned out the thing as well. He's run the goal.
Yeah, he has. He's done what Max Holloway did at 45 with Volkanovski. He said, look, I'm going to just take on challenges until I loop back round again. And Rob, you could argue, has done that. Now, because Izzy's lost, because the second fight was closer, you could put up an argument to say maybe she should run it back for a third time. I don't know. I'm just not there with it. But if Rob gets a title shot, I'm also not going to be upset because Robert Whittaker's a warrior. He's a phenomenal fighter, and he's one of the brightest sparks in this middleweight division. You look at the rankings, though. He's beaten Pereira, fought him twice. Beaten Whittaker twice. Beaten Vettori twice. Jared Cannonier, he's beaten.
Not much of a fight.
Beat
Paulo Costa.
Beat Paulo Costa and made that look easy. Number 6 in the rankings is Dricus du Plessis. He's beat Derek Brunson, who's at number 8. Number 7 is Sean Strickland. Those are the only two. Sorry, obviously you got Delize and Hermanson, but they're not knocking on the door yet. Those are the only two, in my opinion, that you could look at and feasibly say that's the next fight. But
options. There's
options. UFC go that right. There is. Obviously, for Pereira, there'd have been way more options because there's fresh fights. But
plus,
we can see those fresh fights without the title.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, so I can trick you.
Pereira could headline a fight night against some, as you said, like a Vettori.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Or do you give him Robert Whittaker straight away? But if you want to build up a trilogy in MMA, I don't think chucking him with Robert Whittaker is going to be the smartest idea.
Possibly, but as you said, bro, he's with the Sharks now. He's got a sink or swim.
So, like, for me, like with Pereira, any matchup I'm fine with. Obviously, not Paulo Costa because he's got Hamzat. In my belief, he's got Hamzat coming in Abu Dhabi. So,
here's a question for you. What about if Pereira goes up to 205? Maybe he says, I'm done cutting weight. I'm going to go up to 205.
Then you can... I think it's coming off a KO loss. Could you sell him versus Jamal Hill?
No, he wouldn't. He can't get a title shot straight away. But I do think he could get a favorable matchup in that division. I think you could go him and Yan, potentially. You
know
could
what?
go him and Ankalaev,
I
him
wouldn't,
and Smith, Rakic
I
isn't
wouldn't, I
back
wouldn't
yet.
have him versus Smith because Smith's got Johnny Walker coming up, so they're
That's the
booked.
point.
I wouldn't have Ankalaev just because of the resting background. Rakic has still got ACL recovery. Uzdemir, yeah, I can see Uzdemir. Uzdemir's sort of that. I hate saying it again. He's sort of the gatekeeper. You beat
Yeah.
Uzdemir, you're sort of thereabouts. But yeah, like he's got options. I think this result sort of opens up multiple options rather than if it was the opposite way around. Because then Izzy's backed into a corner because you don't know what to do with him. He's too small for 205, but he's sort of Max Holloway'd himself at 85.
Yeah.
So this is probably the best result all around, really. And like I'm fine with whatever they do next with either guy because I love seeing both of them fight.
Brilliant.
So I'm down with whatever they've decided.
Facts. Well, people, let us know in the comment sections what you think should happen next with Izzy Adesanya, the champion, and former champion Alex Pereira. We move on to Masvidal and Burns. Not the fight that we hoped for, not the fight we expected. No finishes, no real drama in the fight. First round was a little close. Second round wasn't close. And the third, Gilbert just pulled away. None of them gave themselves a shot at getting that fight with Leon. I know Gilbert called out Leon on the mic after, but that's Colby's fight now, simply because Burns didn't do enough in this fight, in my opinion, nor would he sell it as well as Colby will. So again, I think you rule that out. Burns, again, showed his professionalism, won a fight. It'll be interesting to see what happens with him next, considering the rankings. Looking at the rankings, Burns is at number 5. I mean, Shavkat and Bilal Muhammad looks to be next. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Chimaev and Burns run it back for a number 1 contender spot for Colby and Leon. Don't know if Chimaev accepts that, though. But for Masvidal, the king of Miami, looks like he's bowed out. Didn't say it officially, but kind of said it without saying it. Took off the gloves. Didn't lay them on the octagon. He did throw them into the crowd, though. Do you think Masvidal's done, or do you think there's 1 or 2 more left in it for him?
Has to be a serious payday. Has to be a serious payday for me. Other than that, he's done. I think unless it's a title shot or it's a big money fight, it's not coming back. That's him done. And for me, if I'm him, I'll be done because you saw in the fight, he's not at that level anymore. Like he just looked offbeat. I didn't think he looked in great shape. I thought his conditioning wasn't great. He was blowing out of his ass in the first round.
Yeah.
And plus, he's got other business ventures outside of the UFC. He's got his whiskey, he's got the Game Bred boxing promotion, he's got a bare knuckle MMA promotion. So it's not like that he's going to be bored with nothing else to do. So he's going to keep himself very, very busy. And Mr. 305 retires in his home round. He didn't get finished, which is probably the best result. He didn't get Derek Lewis in. Yeah. But for me, he's pretty much done. And there's going to be a big question to see whether or not people call him overrated. That's the big thing. Was he overrated? He had a great run, and he sort of capitalized on the hype. But the fact is that he was even in title contention. I think he overachieved on his talent. So I don't think he was ever title shot worthy, like in the UFC. I think he overachieved personally.
I agree to an extent. I actually think he was underrated. Before he had that spell in 2019, where he just went on a tear. I think he was a very underrated fighter, and he had a lot of decisions go against him which shouldn't have gone against him. That Darren Till victory reinvigorated his career, but he didn't rest on his laurels, and he pulled off an absolute Hail Mary against Ben Askren, which was one of the knockouts of the century. And then the Nate stuff as well. Again, all organic. Nothing was pre-planned. Nothing was fixed. Everything was organic. Obviously, he had the situation with Leon Edwards as well, which propelled him as well, which obviously hasn't aged very well considering where Leon is now and where Masvidal is now. But look, I tip my hat to Masvidal. He's done some great stuff in this sport. He's put Miami on the map again. Like UFC hadn't been there in 20 years. He was inspired. I think he's now inspired a new generation in Miami.
Yeah.
I think he's done with MMA personally. I think if he fights again, it might be in game bred boxing, but I think he'll just do promoting and business ventures from now on.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I don't think he may have lost, but he's not been KO'd, he's not been stretchered out, or he's not had a major injury. So for me, enjoy family time and enjoy retirement.
Indeed. And for Gilbert Burns, it remains to be seen what he does. I mean, it's a bit of a logjam in that welterweight division now.
You see him and Usman running it back.
That's a shout. Luke Shelby strikes again. That's a shout.
I swear to God,
round fight as well.
I'm convinced our streams are tapped.
Yeah, that's a shout. That's an absolute shout, bro. We move on to Rob Font and Yanez. Yanez had a lot of hype going into this fight. Came off the back of a great KO win. Rob Font coming off the back of 2 losses, one to Aldo and one to Chito Vera. But boy, Rob Font bit down on the mouth guard and says, I ain't going to lose 3 in a row. And he put on a fantastic performance. Looked like he got hurt early in the fight.
Yeah,
his eye looks like he's in a bit of a state. But wow, is that what he needed to just restart his sort of trajectory title challenge in the future? And I mean, it's looking good for him again now.
Stop the Rock, definitely. I think he took a lot of time off after the Vera fight, and I think that has done in the world of good. Recovered. I think I wouldn't say he's rounded his game out because you've not seen him on the mat at all because it was a predominantly stand-up, but I think the time away is done in the world of good. So sometimes in some fighters you just got to take a step back, take 6 months to really reevaluate where you want to go. And he probably had, apart from the Izzy KO, that was probably that was up there for one of the best finishes of the night.
Yeah, completely agree.
The cross uppercuts, the
it's a beautiful shot.
Oh my God. And I know Yanez was annoyed at the stoppage, but that was a superb stoppage.
It was a perfect stoppage. Absolutely perfect stoppage. Kevin Holland with another stoppage. Again, at the time, Ponzinibbio was moaning about it. Again, watching it back. Again, a perfect stoppage. Kevin Holland's been one of those fighters who's just been excited, but kind of faltered as he got to the higher echelon. Ponzinibbio is a very good fighter. Had his leg injuries and stuff, but Ponzinibbio is still game and gives most people problems. Could this kickstart Kevin Holland to climbing up the division though? He's still not in the. He'd probably be in the top 15. But I mean,
ranked 15 by the time they saw.
If Masvidal's taken out the rankings and he fully retires, then he's got a lot of options though. You look above him, he's got Della Maddalena. You've got Michael Chiesa, who's meant to be on his card, but wasn't. Neil Magny, Vicente Luque, Sean Brady, Jeff Neal. I mean, I don't know about Shavkat. But you look at the options there for Kevin Holland. Welterweight's looking tasty for him again, right?
Yeah, I do feel like there are plenty of options. I don't think he'll fight Della Maddalena because apparently he's had offers from the top 10 that he's had rejected. So I don't see him fighting him. I'm just getting the rankings up quickly. I honestly think he'll fight. I could honestly see him fight Vicente Luque or Neil Magny.
Vicente Luque would be a good fight.
Vicente Luque would be the best one.
Yeah, I'd like to see
it's a
that.
fun fight,
that. And
like, what do you look at that division, it's not wrestler stacked. It's only when you get to the top, that's where wrestlers are. But on the way up, it's predominantly strikers, which is his wheelhouse. So he'll have fun getting up the rankings.
Yeah, I agree. And then the fight that opened up the card, Rodriguez and Rojas Jr. Everyone expected Rojas Jr. to put on a show and get the finish. We did. But Christian Rodriguez showed that he's very good. Great defensive wrestling, great attacking with his jiu-jitsu, but his striking looked really crisp as well. And
he had 6 significant strikes to Rosas Jr.'s 0 in the first 2 rounds. But
he looked good. He looked good. And again, this is good for Christian Rodriguez. Wasn't the most known fighter before this. Rojas Jr. has built up a good little fan base, and rightly so. 18 years old in the UFC and killing it. But Rodriguez done really well here. And what would you do next with Raul Rosas Jr.? Would you just start rebuilding him, or would you give him a little bit of time off? He's still young.
I'd give him a little bit of time off at the moment. I think he's got a lot of holes in his game at the moment, which is okay because he's only 18. It's not like he's 30 and he's got these holes, but I think he needs to pick a home where he wants to train. For me, if I'm picking the gym at the moment, I'd go with AKA. He's going to be humbled very quickly with the level of talent that's there. I think his striking is going to improve because his striking looks very suspect. Very suspect. But I think take your time with him because it's very easy to strap the rocket on the young guy and for him to not live up to expectation. There's been plenty of fighters that have not lived up to the hype, but he's 18. Take your time with him. Take your time. Like, even if you don't see him until like October, take your time. Make sure he gets the proper training, rest, and stuff in. But yes, there's definitely a talent in there. Can he be champion? Yes, he probably can be champion one day. But it's a long road. Just let him get there at his own pace.
I like how he handled the defeat as well. He seemed humble with it. 18 years old, mature beyond his years. I think he's still got a bright future. But congratulations, Christian Rodriguez. Well, bro, we could be sitting there for hours talking about this card, but we won't do that to the people. I thought it was a great card. If I were to rank it out of 5 stars, what would you give it?
Oh,
now I'm putting you on the spot here a little bit.
I'd probably give it 4.5.
Would you?
Yeah, because Masvidal. Yeah, I give it 4.5. I give it 4.5.
See, I'm gonna sound really harsh now. I'd probably give it I think a 3.5. Is that harsh? Is that harsh? That is quite harsh. I'm all right. The first fight was good. Second fight, the second fight wasn't that great. The stoppage was good. The third fight was very good. Masvidal fight, I didn't find that great, but obviously the main event was amazing. I think 3.5 for me. But I don't begrudge a 4.5 or 4 either.
Yeah, 4.5. I think it's just because the KO at the end, it's still very fresh in my mind.
It's what you remember, isn't it? It's what you remember. It's weird because
how you leave.
What was the card we did with the Ankalaev and Jan Blachowicz? No, but remember, bro, that card was really good, but the ending was terrible, and everyone just remember. Like, that's all that people remember.
Robbery, main event, put me to sleep. Really.
Yeah, exactly. Well, people, you know what to do now. Smash the like button. Also, head over to Luke's channel and subscribe as well. Link is in the title and the description. And let us know what was your favorite fight of the night, performance of the night, and give us your star rating of the main card of UFC 287. That's us. Make sure you switch on the notification bell. And until we see you next time, people, thank you very much for watching. We are out, people. Congratulations, Izzy.